What's up? Today I'm going to show you guys how I started calisthenics. Now, a lot of you guys may or may not know, before YouTube, my professional calisthenics career started back in 2012 when I represented USA for the World Championship, the World Street Workout Calisthenics Federation World Championship, which was the first international competition for calisthenics. And the very first championship that had ever taken place was back in 2011. So I had gotten in really early in 2012, the second year they ever did this. It was featured on Eurosport and Eurosport 2, and it was the first real taste that I had gotten of the calisthenics community and seen it from the outside world, outside my little spot in Miami. And in 2013, I won the World Cup in Germany, which qualified me for the super finals. Now for the World Cup, there's different stages all around the world, and the winners of all those stages battle it out at the super finals at the end of the year in Moscow, Russia. Again, I represented USA at the super finals, and it was one of the craziest experiences of my life. After the super finals, I came back home extremely inspired and opened the world's first calisthenics gym to focus more on my training. And in that time, I continued to travel and teach from all the things I learned from all these competitions and from being a part of all these international competitions, meeting all these extremely talented international athletes. I was able to pick all their brains and be able to use what I felt like applied the best to me and towards my craft. And with that, I began to really focus on my training, and I would continue to travel and teach basically everything from my experience. And along those years, eventually able to revolutionize the way that people view calisthenics. And now there's calisthenics gyms all around the world. Kind of like when skateboarding first came out, eventually came the skate parks. But if I can bring it back to the very, very beginning, it basically all started at a really young age when my parents put me into martial arts. And the way we trained and conditioned in martial arts was all with body weight training. We didn't use any weights to work out. And specifically at my school, one of the main things that we had focused on was core. Core was drilled into our minds that is like the most important thing. All your strength comes from here. So we would always drill crazy ab workouts. So at the age of like 7, 8 years old, I already had a six-pack. And another monumental thing that was embedded into us from martial arts was discipline and being able to see results from progressive discipline. So naturally, these aspects had started to spill into my calisthenics training when I began calisthenics. But outside of the basics, when I really started to venture further and really got into calisthenics, one of the moves that really broke that barrier for me was a seated, explosive L-sit pull-up. This was even before I was able to muscle up, and this is one of the moves that I used to be able to get a really high pull-up that eventually got me to my muscle up. Let me show you guys. So this move right here is literally one of the first moves. I remember I was doing this on the beach, on Miami Beach, on South Beach. They have some parallel bars out there, and this is exactly what I would do. I would sit in the sand like this, get a nice over grip. That's super important. Make sure your palms are over. Keep an L-sit, and then try to pull up and touch your lap to the bar. Now, when I first started this, of course, I couldn't get that high, but I kept at it. And this eventually got me my strict muscle up. Being able to just pull straight up. That move right there. So that right there is gold, guys. These are mental jewels right here. Drill this move right here, and you're gonna master your pulling game. All right, so the next move, after I had gotten really comfortable with that, I soon began to start freestyling on the bar. And one of the, I would say, monumental moves for me was the back lever flutter kicks. This move specifically because it really worked on my core like no move has ever done for me. It also gives you an insane grip. It gives you a real taste on what holding a static is gonna feel like from the beginning, and you're already training with your arms locked out. And being able to keep your legs straight, doing some flutter kicks while doing this exercise takes a great deal of discipline. So let me show you guys this next move. So that's the back lever flutter kicks right there. I'm telling you, looks a little weird, but that gets you super strong. In fact, once I really mastered this, I was able to really get comfortable with the bar. And after that, I began to learn some 360 muscle ups. Now the 360 muscle up, man, when I was doing these, this is when my training really started to take another level. Back then, doing a muscle up was like impressive. If you did that out there at the beach or like the gym, people are like, whoa, what the hell was that? You know, so this is when I really started feeling like I was progressing to uncharted territory and really taking this to heights that necessarily haven't been done before. Here we go for it. Let's do some. Whew. I think we can get a little better than that. Whew. Love that move right there. If you have this move on lock, any dynamic move is gonna come to you naturally. So once I was really able to get this down, started adding more movements under my belt, I was really starting to feel like I was beginning to master the dynamics part of calisthenics. And then I started to venture off further into more controlled, static styled exercises and movements. And that is when I first began to learn one of the most important moves for me, which was the L-sit to handstand. Now the L-sit to handstand, this one broke a huge barrier for me, especially because one, you're moving while you're in a handstand. And this move basically led me to handstand push-ups, 90-degree push-ups, full planche push-ups. Everything else really unlocks after you unlock this one move. And this move gives you crazy, crazy strength when it comes to holds and when it comes to moving in a transition. You know, try not to swing when you're doing this move. Try to really control your body and activate those muscles to get you up and down. Let's go for it. There you have it. Drill this move, unlock this move right here, and everything else is gonna get a lot more natural. Which brings us to our next exercise, full planche push-ups. You see, it's crazy, but if you really think about it, all these moves have some type of aspect that eventually branches you off into the next harder progression. Even when we come back down into one of the hardest progressions that I've been able to acquire now, like the full planche push-ups, I use a lot of the other things that I learned from other moves into this exercise right here. A lot of back lever, believe it or not, will improve your planche and will help you acquire a stronger planche. Back lever has a lot of lower back. You use straight arms just like when you're in planche, and you have to keep your body straight just like when you're in a full planche as well. So try to master all aspects of calisthenics, because those are eventually going to transfer over into other things that you will eventually learn, a lot harder things, and it's going to be a lot easier to come by, and it's going to be a lot easier to achieve once you have that type of background. So now we're going to go for some full planche push-ups. Let's get it. Some nice, good old-fashioned full planche push-ups. So there you guys have it. This is basically my little journey into where I am basically today. But the most important thing that you can take from this video is that I would consistently try to achieve something a little bit harder, a little bit harder. I would stay progressing basically. So it's super important to have goals and set milestones so that you're able to continue to progress and achieve harder and harder things. And don't just focus on one aspect of calisthenics. You need to utilize all aspects, because all types of exercises and movements at the end of the day are gonna have you master your body weight. So with that said, guys, thanks for watching. Smash that like button if you enjoyed this video. I will see you guys this weekend in Toronto, Canada for the hand balancing workshop. And the weekend after that, we're gonna be back out in Europe doing more workshops. So if you guys wanna attend any of our events or workshops, then visit thenx.com/blog/events to secure your spot while there's still availability. And I will see you guys at the workshop. See you next Thursday, and get ready for the weight vests on chrisheria.com. We got those weight vests coming really soon, guys. See you next time. smash that like button, guys.